Well, hello and welcome again to our reading of the Homer's Odyssey, Book 7, and we were up to line 207. And so Alkinous has addressed Odysseus, and he's a little bit concerned that Odysseus may in fact be one of the gods in disguise. Ton de apame bominos prosephe polut apolometis Odysseus. Alkino allotitoi meleto fresi. Uga ego ge athanatoisi ioika hoi uranon urun ekusin. Udemas udifuein alathnetoisi bratoisi. Hus tinas humas isti malist okiontas o udzon ton anthropon toisin ken en algesin isosymen. So Odysseus, who is very clever, polymathous, very cunning Odysseus, answering him, he replied, Alkinot, there's an epsilon been elided here from the vocative, Alkinous. Now we get an imperative, third person singular imperative. So let some other thing be of concern to you in your mind. Uga ego ge, for in fact, for the ge, I am not like to the immortals, toi for hoi, who hold broad heaven. Udemas udifuein, neither in my body nor in my stature, but understand heoika, I am like to mortals, to mortal men. Whom you know, so the sorts of ones whom you yourself know of men, malista especially, and the okiontos udzon is burdened with sorrow. So it's agreeing with this tinas. This is from, we get the word for a chariot actually, okos, connected originally with echo, something which holds or hence has or hence burdened with. So burdened with udzon, with sorrow. So those sorts, so certain men, certain ones of men whom you know to be very much burdened with sorrow. Isosymen, this is an optative here. I would equate, understand myself with them in my misery. So I'm very much like them in my troubles. Kai deti ken kai pleon ego kakamuthesymen hosagede xumpat pantathion I ote timogesa. And I would, again, these are all optatives, I would speak even further of greater troubles. So I myself would speak even further of my many troubles, as many as, so all of them, as many as in fact I have laboured at by the intention, by the plan of the gods, by the intent of the gods, from Iotes. Ememen do pesai I asetice dominon per, uga tistugere epigasteri kunteron allo epleto, he tekeliusen io me thesastai ananke, kai mala te romenon kai eni fresi penthos econta, hos kai ego penthos min echo fresin he demal ie es themenai kelatai kai pin emin ek deme panton leithanon hossa epathon kai eni plesthenai anoge. So we get this very long little section here. It's slightly, to modern taste, slightly grotesque. But although I am in grief, very common expression here to put pair after a participle. So it's concessive. So although I am in grief, in pain, allow me, dorpesi, to eat supper. For, well, here's the verb here. This is from pelamai, often used just in place of the verb to be. So there is not anything, no other thing. Kunteron is a funny word. It means more shameless, more gross, more disgusting almost. It is connected with kuon, a dog. So dogs are often voracious eaters and will guts down whatever they have put in front of them. And this is a comparative connected with that. So there is nothing else more shameless, more disgusting than the hateful, so the epi here is beyond, so more than, the hateful gasteri, the hateful stomach. And in fact, it's going to continue the shameful belly, and the rest of it is really all about that. So hey, this is agreeing with gaster, which is feminine. So which bids, understand me, by necessity, mene sasthai, to turn my attention, or to think really of her. I think this is a genitive here. It's a reflexive pronoun here. So who bids me by necessity to have thoughts of her, that is, the stomach. So even if I am very hard pressed, and even if I have penthos, grief, any fresin in my heart, and thus so since I do have grief in my heart, or perhaps even when I have grief in my heart, might be better, hey, this again is referring back to gaster, so it, or she if you will, continually, keletai bids, from kelamai, bids me understood. Esthemenai is an infinitive from estheo, and pinemen is also an infinitive, both of these present infinitives. Bids me to eat and to drink. And as many things as I have suffered, lanthane, it makes me forget all of them. So the ek goes with the lanthano here, so and it strengthens it. So makes me forget completely all of them, as many things as I have suffered, and it bids me any place thanai. This is from en pinplami, literally to fill it up. So this is again referring to the stomach. Humes doctrinesthai ham eoi phanai nom mene fin hos chemiton dustenon emes epibasiti patres kai pepola pathonta idonteme kai lipoi ion te sinemen demoas te kai hupserepes megadoma. But you, and now we get otrunesthai, which is an infinitive from otruno, But Homer often uses infinitives for imperatives. Now that's one of the things you've got to get used to in Homeric Greek. You'll often get an imperative, an infinitive for an imperative. So otrinos, to stir up. So it's almost, so get ready an expedition or something. So stir things up, make plans. Along with the sun, with the dawn, I should say, along with the dawn appearing. And we get this old fin ending here with Hummer. It's an old dative ending here. So you, when the dawn appears, start making arrangements so that you might cause me to stand, from epibino, cause me who am wretched, so you might place me, wretched though I am, on my patres, on my fatherland. Kai pepola pathonta. Now notice again lovely pi sounds here. We've got patres, and then we've got kai per pola pathonta. And we've got a lipoi here as well. So now kai and per, in later Greek these get put together with a participle, although, and that's what it is here, but they're separated. So even though I have suffered, so although having suffered pola many things. And then we get the lipoi here is an optative of wish. Ion is a word, well, there's tomes written on ion. It's a word of huge range of meanings in later Greek. Here it's just got the sense of my life, my span of life. So the time that I'm alive. So may my life leave me, idonta, aorist participle, when I have seen my ktesin, my possession. So this is just a singular accusative. And then in apposition to that, my demoas, my servants, and the great high-roofed house. Interestingly, he doesn't mention his wife at this point. He mentions the servants and his house. Hos ephath hoi darapantes epanion edikeluon pempemenai ton xenon epe katamoiran epen aute epe spesan te epion kai hoson thelathumos hoimen kakeontes eban oikondi hekastos auter ho en megaro hupelepeta dios Odysseus pa de hoi arete te kai Alkinous theoedes es hestan amphipoloi dap ekosmion entia daitos. And thus he spoke, and they, all of them, accordingly, they praised, and so they expressed their agreement, and they bid, understand, Alkinous to send off the stranger. Since he had spoken katamoiron, well, literally in accordance with moira, with fate, or that which was appropriate, so he had spoken well or appropriately. But when they had poured libation, again from spendamitis, the aorist without augment, and they had drunk as much as their heart wished, it's that same line we had before, hoimen, some of them, katakiontes. Now this probably is a desiderative form here from katakemai. The kak is kata, and then you get just becomes cat, and then the tor becomes a kappa before to match up with this kappa. So the kak here is kata, and then kaiontes, and it's probably desiderative. So they desiring to lie down. Eban for ebezan, they went to their house. And there's a nice use of hekastos. So although this is all plural, you then get the singular hekastos, each one. So you could say they desiring to lie down, they went each one to his house. But glorious Odysseus was left behind from Hypolapo in the hall, and beside him, that's the hoi here, Arete and godlike Alkinous. Hastein is a jewel, again from this haimai, sitting word. So the two of them, Arete and Alkinous, the godlike Alkinous, were sitting beside him. And the amphipoloi, the servants, apokosmio, were clearing away, we'd say in English. Cosmio is to arrange. So they were clearing away the entia. Here is probably the implements. This also has a range of meanings. It's from entos. It's a third declension neuter noun. Can be used at the tackle of a ship, for example. It's got a range of meanings. Here it's just the implements ditos, genitive of the feast. So the servants were clearing away the implements of the feast. Toisidarete lukolinos archetai muthon, egnogarpharos te kitona kahemetidusa, kala taraute chuxi sun amphipoloisi gunaixi, kai min phonesas epia ptero enta pros euda. But the Arete, white-armed, from Lukos and Olenos, so white-armed Arete. Whiteness in ancient times was seen as a sign of beauty amongst women. You often see on Greek vases the women are painted with this very light-coloured white skin. So white-armed Arete began, made of words for them. For Egno, perhaps she recognized here, so Idusa, when she saw it, she recognized the pharos, this is a cloak or coat, and kitona, a cloak, and the haimata, clothes, the beautiful ones, ta for ha, which she herself, tuxe from tuco, without augment, which she herself made along with her servant women. So she doesn't miss much. He's wearing the clothes that Nausicaa had given him when she found him naked on the beach, and Arete, well, she said, I made those, so she recognizes them. Kai, and having spoken, she addressed him, having spoken winged words, epia for epos, third declension, neuter noun. And that will suffice for this reading, and we'll continue in the next video.